It's been a long 7 years since the last overhaul. This year, Volkswagen finally launched the second-generation Sharan. The big people mover has been popular since it was first released in 1995, selling over 600,000 units. But this time, VW says, it's given the Sharan far more than just a cosmetic facelift. The Volkswagen automaker claims that every single part, except maybe the sun visors, has been redeveloped. The design of the new Sharan certainly reflects VW's new corporate image. The silhouette features clear and dynamic lines with some important changes. For instance, the old Sharan's awkward, hinged rear doors now slide open. An advantage in narrow parking spaces, allowing passengers to get in and out easily. The typical VW rear lights are integrated into the large hatch door. The well-structured cockpit features a host of design elements that have proven themselves in the Tiguan and Touareg models. The whole seating concept has been revamped, especially rows 2 and 3, says Bone. The flexible seating arrangement boasts up to 5 single seats that can be moved or folded separately to enable better access to the third row. A simple adjustment creates a flat loading surface. And there's lots of space, 300 liters when all 7 seats are up. If the optional third row is folded, the cargo volume rises to 1,167 liters. Folding the second row of seats provides some 2,300 liters of space, which can compete with a moving van. But the new concept is not just about loading space. VW has also overhauled the chassis and the engines. VW claims the model is up to 21% more efficient than its predecessors. The engines are also tried and tested. 2-liter diesel 103 kilowatt and 125 kilowatt motors, as well as the familiar 1.4-liter gasoline engine. VW says they've been adapted to the Sharan and that the 103 kilowatt variant has CO2 emissions of 143 grams per kilometer, making it number 1 in its class. In this Sharan model, the 2-liter TDI engine uses Blue Motion technology at 140 horsepower. The diesel motor accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 10.9 seconds. And according to the maker, its fuel consumption is just 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers. The new VW Sharan is now available at dealerships in Germany. The basic version starts at 28,875 euros, while the 2-liter diesel model we drove comes with a 34,675 euro price tag. As street traffic gets denser, drivers have to be increasingly alert to what is going on around them. And automakers are offering more and more driver assistance systems to help in traffic. But these systems are still far from the rule on the road. Thomas Burkhardt from Germany's largest automobile club says it usually takes around 10 years for safety technology to become widely available on the market. He points to the upswing back in the 1980s, followed by the jump in the 1990s, which brought safety technology onto the road on a large scale. Research and development continues to advance. Mercedes is continually improving its systems, like lane departure warning assistance that makes the steering wheel vibrate when the car drifts over the white line. Such systems are not new, but the engineers have gone a step further. The system will now actively work to keep the vehicle in its lane. It's a subtle correction, which drivers hardly notice. Markus Facher explains that the carmaker's active lane-keeping assist function not only vibrates to warn drivers who exit their lane, but now actively intervenes to keep the car in line. The assist function kicks in at speeds above 60 kilometers per hour. The system works by applying gentle brake pressure on one side to help an inattentive driver to keep in the lane. That serves both as an additional warning and an aid to get back in the lane, Markus Fach says. In the active lane keeping mode, a camera sensor distinguishes between dotted and solid lines. It actively intervenes for solid lines, the ones drivers are not allowed to cross.
Also die man normalerweise nach Straßenverkehrsordnung nicht mehr befahren darf.
Since the 1980s, automotive engineering has made cars continually safer. For years, passive safety was the watchword. Systems were mainly designed to minimize the effects of a crash. But modern camera and radar technology has made active protection systems possible. With a 360-degree view of the surroundings, they can recognize precarious situations and support the driver. This simulator is equipped with driver assistance systems that could already be built into real cars. A major theme is blind spot monitors that keep an eye on vehicles overtaking from behind. This is the real-life scenario. A passing car enters the blind spot from behind, unnoticed. The system warns the driver with acoustic and optical signals on the mirror and the dashboard. But suppose our driver pulls out anyway. The system detects the closing distance to the oncoming vehicle and intervenes to keep the car in its lane, preventing the side-on collision. The blind spot assistant is an addition to the current warning system, says Markus Fach. The active system will provide one-sided braking intervention to avert an imminent collision. When the driver leaves the lane slightly or drifts towards the car in the blind spot, the intervention will be enabled. It gives him a gentle haptic warning and, at the same time, helps the car back into its lane.
Haptische Rückmeldung und Warnung bietet und gleichzeitig auch zurückführt in seine eigene Fahrspur.
The system uses camera and radar technology to monitor the area around the car. Anyone who has ever experienced a vehicle emerging unexpectedly alongside is sure to appreciate this aid. The braking intervention reliably prevents side collisions. According to Fach, we can expect to see more camera-based solutions in the future. Radar sensors will give us even more systems to prevent accidents and crashes. And with other assist systems making steering, cruise control, and lane keeping easier, driving will be more comfortable than ever before. It may be some time before these solutions are widely available, but Mercedes has already installed the driver assistance systems we saw here in its CL-class models. With the new Urus, Toyota is introducing hybrid drive into the compact class while putting big pressure on the VW Golf. Together, the 1.8-liter gasoline engine and electric drive harness 136 horsepower. And there are 4 driving modes. The Urus can operate normally on gasoline or fully electrically for a maximum of 2 kilometers. The Eco mode combines the gasoline and electrical drives, requiring 3.8 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. And in Power mode, the Urus really shows its muscle. Renault presents the Latitude, its new luxury sedan. It's 4.9 meters long, and its chrome trim by xenon headlights, dynamic curve lighting, and the latest LED technology in the front end all underscore the car's elegant character. After being unveiled at the Moscow Motor Show, the Latitude goes on sale this fall, first in Russia, Turkey, Romania, and Australia. The new Renault will be introduced in the rest of Europe in October. For the last 10 years, Europe's smart fans have been gathering annually to toast their good taste in cars. For the 5th time, the meeting has taken place in Austria's Zell am See, and of course, everyone drove to the venue in their smart.
Hello, my name is Rui Silva. I come from Portugal.
James Palmer, and I'm from London, England, United Kingdom.
His name's Niels Fischer, and he comes from Dortmund.
My name is Linda, and I'm from Denmark.
They've come here from 16 countries and driven various distances to be here. Almost 900 kilometers.
We drive about 1,250 kilometers.
I drove about 1,400 kilometers.
Almost 3,000 kilometers.
The first stop is for registration. Anyone wanting to join in the Smart Times contest, which rewards the best look and best engine, has to put in a pit stop here first. On the first day, they scale the mighty Großglockner, Austria's tallest peak, at 3,700 meters. Afterwards, all take time to explore the surrounding area. But it doesn't take them long to get acquainted and start talking with new and old friends about what it's all about this weekend, the Smart. It's a very international meeting, says Bettina Dorsch from Smart. All the fans, all the members have come from their home countries with their customized Smarts. Each car is different, and it's fantastic to see how much love has been put into them. And we're all totally proud of our Smarts. Sascha Gerstmeier is especially proud of his baby. He welded together 2 Smarts to make one with 3 axles and a trailer. He points out that he builds auto bodies professionally and has his own hobby projects on the side. He thought long and hard about what to build and finally decided on a pickup version of the Smart as a relatively simple solution. He then spent his free time over the next 4 years tinkering and experimenting on this project. Another very special sight is this Smart with a trailer hook and a caravan in the matching color. A Smart as a first aid car. Is it just a gag or a serious way to provide help at big events? No, it's no fake, he says. The car is used to provide first aid. The advantage is that the car is very maneuverable, very small, and can be used at events where long distances have to be covered through the crowd. The car is ideal for that. The crew is generally a first aid assistant and a doctor, and with the remodeled trunk, they have everything they need to take care of patients on the spot. They can then assess whether they need an ambulance or can get the patient back on his feet themselves. And if they do need an ambulance, they can use the time before it arrives effectively. But the supporting program of the Smart Times 10 can also boast its own highlights. Ricardo Domingos from Portugal wows everyone with his custom Smart, souped up with a Hayabusa motorcycle engine to pack an amazing 230 horsepower. On the dot at 11 a.m. Saturday, everyone joins in again as the 10th Smart Times Parade gets underway with some 600 participants. It still holds its place in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's longest car parade. After 5 years of meeting in Austria, the Smart community plans on hitting the road to gather in a different country every time over the next 10 years. In 2011, the meeting place will be Italy's Adriatic resort of Riccione.